Hey guys, I'm Katherine with Food Saved Me, your local authorized Saladmaster dealership, and today we're going to talk to you about basics for using the Saladmaster machine. You can find this video and other videos on our website at foodsaveme.com under services and then owner services. There's a lot of good starter videos there that can help you. So for the Saladmaster machine, before we use it, you need to know the basic parts. We have suction cups on the bottom. There are three. That'll apply firmly to your counter so that it will stay in place. When you're going to pick up your machine, you don't want to pick it up this way. Lift the edge of the suction cup and that'll be easier for you to remove it. Make sure your surface is clean and dry too. Also, this comes apart in a couple of pieces. The top part can come off of the base like that. It's very easy. Hold the base with your left hand and lift with your right hand. It also comes with a guard here. And this slides off. If you have a brand new machine, then it might be pretty tight. But this slides on and off for easy cleaning and also for cutting special things. The machine comes with 5 cones. Each of these cones is actually numbered. It's etched in here. Like this is our number 2 cone. It says ST2. But if you want a shortcut, a lot of our owners will just take a Sharpie and color in 2 of the circles. So it's very easy to identify that this is cone number 2. And you can do that for 1 through 5, and that should make it so much easier. A good habit when using your machine is to always keep your cones in order. That way you always know this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each cone has a different function and a different cut, so I encourage you to test those out and see what you come up with. Number 1 is the smallest cut. So this is what I might use for garlic or ginger, grating a hard cheese like Parmesan. Number 2 is my favorite cut. This is the stringer. So you get kind of a julienne cut, if you will. It resembles hash browns, or this is what I use for minestrone soup for julienning all my veggies. Number 3 is more of a chunk, like a French fry size cut, or like chunky diced veggies. And then we get into our 2 slicers. Number 4 is the straight slice. So if you wanted to slice a block of cheese or a potato chip, for example. And this is also what I use for slicing my mushrooms. And cone number 5 is the waffle cut. So it's gonna, if you're using it on a potato, it will look like a waffle fry kind of. So that's a really nice cut, and it's beautiful to use on strawberries too, for example. So I want to show you some basics for using your machine when you first get it. My general rule is that your left hand should not move. Your right hand is what does all the moving. So what I mean by that is grab a cone, affix it firmly in your left palm here so that it's tight in your hand, and we're just going to place it against these teeth here. All right, so we'll place it gently, and then we're going to move with our right hand. So we're going to turn until these lock, just like that, and then you let go, and we're ready to cut. Now, when you cut things, when you cut food, some food will be left inside your cone. There's no blades in there, so no big deal. What you want to do again, place your left hand as your finger is pressed up against the top of the cone. Place it inside. Don't move it. That's our rule. Only move with your right. So turn it, and then all that food will come out in your hand. Next, if you want to take it off of the machine, same idea. Put your left hand here, place it firmly so you got a good grip, and don't move it. And we'll just move this backwards like that, and that unhooks it. We're ready to go. Same with washing. I've seen people struggle with trying to pull food out of it. You shouldn't have to do that. This is very easy to clean. When you clean a cone, place it in your left hand with these fingers firmly up against the top like that, and you want the water to hit at this angle. So you're going to hold it about 45-degree angle so the water hits right here, and then you just turn while it's under the water and pull that extra food out. So they should all clean very quickly, and just move on to the next one. All right, you can also run these through the dishwasher if you want, of course, but you can hand wash them as well. So I want to show you a couple of popular foods on the machine. So let's start with an onion. People often don't know how to cut an onion, and there's a way to do it without having to peel, which is fantastic. So what I'm going to do first is cut off these 2 edges. So we'll cut these. You can discard these or save these for making broth. If you notice, I haven't taken the peel off the onion at all. So now we have 2 flat sides, and I'm going to cut from end to end. So we're going to cut our onion in half, just like that. So now we've got 2 halves of our onion, and this is nice to have the skin on it because that's what will protect my palm, so I can cut all the way down to the skin. So onions, I usually will cut those either on cone number 2 if I want a small dice, or cone number 4 if I want a nice slice. So I'll show you cone number 4 first. So place the onion in the palm of your hand. Always hold your thumb and pinky out here so they never end up near that blade. All right, see that? So we get a nice straight slice with our onion. Isn't that cool? I'm gonna clear my cone, just like I showed you, remove this, and then add the number 2 cone. I'll put that one on because I wanna show you the dicing. It's so nice and fast to do. Okay, so now we get more of a hash brown type cut, okay? And you can cut all the way down to the skin of your onion. Okay, so that's a nice way to not have very much waste. Clean the inside, because there's always a lot of food there, and remove your cone. So next, I want to talk about celery. There's 2 ways to do celery, which I think is pretty neat. One, you can cut it on the outside. So if you just want to slice it, you would hold your celery perpendicular to the cone. You don't have to press hard. The cone pushes the food towards the plastic. So this way, you're gonna get this nice kind of slice. Really nice in like a chickpea or a tuna salad sort of thing. Give it some crunch in any of your salads. But sometimes you actually may want to peel your celery. And if you want to peel it to kind of remove these strings along here, sometimes those can be bitter, or people with certain ailments, maybe that's not so good for digestion. So I'm going to put the number 1 cone on because that's our smallest cut. And the machine is designed so that there is a gap between the hopper and the cone. So we can run the celery, you can run anything through there. If you want to do mangoes this way, or avocados, or even potatoes, that would be great. So you run it through the back, and as it comes through the bottom, I'm just going to gently hold it against the machine so we can get, what's happening is we're getting all the meat off of the strings without adding the strings to the food. So you see here? Now you can say you can have dinner with no strings attached, right? So that's celery, and again, a lot of it gets stuck in the cone, so just clear your cone like that, see how much we got, and throw that in. And you can see that's a much finer cut. But that way you've gotten it off the strings. Finally, I want to talk about carrots a little bit. So carrots are something that I cut a whole lot on here, and when you wash them, they can tend to be a little bit slippery. So what I see, I'm going to use this number 2 cone again, is that when people are using carrots, they're kind of pressing down too hard. You really don't need to do that. Because the movement, the motion of the cone will move the food against the plastic, and that'll apply pressure for you. So you never want to press straight down, right? Because then you could slip and hurt yourself. So when you're holding something long, like a carrot, or maybe you're doing a potato on here, you do not want to hold it like this, because eventually your fingers are going to get to the cone before the food does. Ah, that's no good. Okay, so we're just going to hold it gently like this. We're going to place it in our palms. And as the carrot gets closer, our goal is always to land our pinky and our thumbs on the guard here, and then you finish with your palm. All right, so whatever you're cutting, if it's apple, potato, carrot, whatever, you want to finish with your palm, okay? So now we're at our guard, and we're going down. You can go all the way down and just go gently. Another thing that you can use, if you don't want to use the outside of the cone, cut your carrot into smaller pieces and just throw it in the basket. You can do that with anything. Gently place the guard on top and press down. And this will allow you to get that same sort of cut. It's a beautiful julienne cut that you can do a lot with. Again, this is the number 2 cone. You want to be careful not to press down really hard on this, because you don't want to cut any of the plastic guard into your food. That would not be good, right? Okay, so whenever you take off your cone, when you've used the guard here, whatever's left in here will generally fall out into your food. All right, so just be sure that you want that in there. In this case, it's a little nub, so we don't want it. Finally, let's talk about apples. Apples can be slippery, and there's a great way to make these on the machine. So for an apple, you want to put it sideways. See, here's my stem and the root of it. So I'm going to palm it like this with these two on the outside and place it gently against the machine. The first cut may be slippery. You do not need to apply a whole lot of pressure. But you can cut all the way down to the core here. And what's important is the way that you turn it. So now we want to turn our apple so that the cut side is up against the plastic guard. That will prevent it from slipping, okay? Now it's easy. We just hold on to the guard gently to brace ourselves. Keep cutting. Man, sliced apples. Have you ever seen anything sliced so fast? It's fantastic. So I like using number 4 cone on my apples, and then also the number 2 cone for that hash brown like cut. That's a great one to make applesauce with. Okay, so you can cut all the way down to that core, or you can just put the whole thing in the back and cut the core into your salad or whatever it is that you're making. And with the number 4 cone, we end up with beautiful thin apple slices. This is great if you're making an apple crisp or an apple pie. It would just be delicious. Or if you're just cutting snacks for a 4-year-old, like I think who has walked through my video a couple of times. All right, so these are the most popular things that you can make on your machine. I want to show you one more. I had my machine for 10 years before I learned this, and I'm so excited about it. Let me grab a garlic real quick, and I'll show you. So this works best with a fresh garlic, but we all know the benefits of garlic and how healthy it is for you, right? But a lot of people just don't like taking the time to cut a garlic. The traditional method would say we peel it, we take a clove off, smash it with our knife, and then get the skin off and then mince it. That's a lot of work for 1 clove of garlic. So this is my absolute favorite thing to cut on the machine. So what I'm gonna do is just cut this top off so I kind of have a flat area to work with here. I'll show you. I'm not removing any of the skin. All right, so this is what it looks like. I still have my root on the bottom here, and I have some exposed garlic. It looks like there are about 12 cloves in here. So think to yourself, how long would that take to peel and mince 12 cloves of garlic? Maybe a little while. I'm gonna use the number 1 cone. That's our smallest cut. And I like to use a plate for garlic instead of a bowl. I'll show you here. I'm gonna be very careful, put this in my palm and rest it. I'm not putting the garlic flat on the cone because I need to be able to hold it. So I'm gonna brace it against the guard and turn slowly. If your garlic is not fresh, this is the point where the cloves kind of fall off. It can get a little bit dicey to hold on to, so it works better with a fresh one, but you can make it work with one that's not so fresh. And you can see I'm just cutting into the garlic, and now I'm gonna turn it. Oh, it smells fantastic. I wish you could smell it online. Okay, and we just keep turning. One of our cloves came off, no big deal. And I'm gonna go all the way down to the root here so that we have as little waste as possible. So you see that? It went all the way down to the root. Smells great. And if you look at it, it looks a little bit messy on my plate. In general, any peel will fall to the back, and then your garlic will fall to the front. However, there's a lot more garlic that came out of this bulb, and that's on the inside of the cone. Don't touch the outside of the cone because that really has a lot of the peeling. So we're just gonna touch the inside, and remember how we remove things safely. I'm gonna place my fingers in here with this one pressed up against the top, and then I'm gonna turn with my right hand. Look at all that delicious garlic. This is a lot of garlic. We know this is a great cancer fighter. It's great for lowering blood pressure and just helping our overall health. So in about 30 seconds, we've got, if you can see all this, about 12 cloves of peeled garlic. If you do see some tiny bits of peeling in there, don't worry about it. You're not gonna be able to taste them at all. You won't even be able to feel the texture. Now you've got fresh garlic that you can just throw in some mashed potatoes for some garlicky potatoes, put on top of your lasagna, maybe in a spaghetti sauce or a stir fry. It would be fantastic. Or you could just use a little bit and store this in a Tupperware or something in the fridge for about a week. And you've got nice fresh garlic that was freshly cut, that's not stored in oil and put in a jar for a year before you buy it at the supermarket. So I hope this was helpful. Go home. I recommend that you buy like a 5-pound bag of potatoes, get comfortable with your machine, make some mashed potatoes, try out all the cones, and it'll be like second nature to you in no time at all. Thanks, and check our website, foodsaveme.com, for more videos.